Patson Daka has reportedly agreed to join Liverpool this summer. He's had a barnstorming season, scoring 32 goals and getting 12 assists in the process. Could this be the next young, up-and-coming, goal-scoring superstar to join Liverpool Football Club? In other news, Jadon Sancho to Man United appears to have hit financial problems, according to a German journalist today. We'll be delving into that with more detail. And finally, Arsenal seems set to try and exploit the current situation of Onana at Ajax. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Here we go. Liverpool Football Club are reportedly set to announce Patson Daka as a signing. I read this morning in the Emperor of the Cop, but of course it's taken from a Spanish outlet, and reportedly Liverpool are close to getting this deal done. We all know, I said 32 goals in the build-up, actually. It's 34 goals, 12 assists this season for Patson Daka. A sensational talent, there's no doubt about it. To Haaland, due to the fact that he's at RB Salzburg, the same as Haaland was. I mean, it's two absolutely prolific goal scorers back to back that they have had. It's worth reading the article. It's worth sort of looking into this. It says here that Liverpool have reportedly set to confirm Red Bull Salzburg's striker Patson Daka as their second signing this summer. Of course, yesterday there's big reports as well about Liverpool closing in on a deal for Rafinha. He says that's according to Spanish outlets, who boldly claim the Zambian international will soon link up with French under-21 star Konate at Anfield. He says Liverpool fans should be well aware who Daka is by now. He's reportedly been heavily linked with a move to the Reds, with Goal being the latest authoritative source to give credit to these claims. I want to get Liverpool fans' reactions to this here now live on the air. Daka to Liverpool. Is this the kind of profile of player you were expecting to be linked with this summer? How much credibility do you give these sources today? That's what's important to us at the Terrace. How much credibility are you giving these sources? And when you start looking at the players you're heavily linked with, Daka, Rafinha, Konate coming in, it does sound like said Walid, the agent we spoke to many months ago on the Football Terrace, who said Liverpool will be aiming for 20, 30, 40 million pound players this summer. Young, exciting, explosive, full of talent for Jurgen Klopp to develop into stars. And it does appear when you look at things on the surface, that's exactly what they're looking to go out there and do. I'm going to go to some of your live comments on this story. I want to know what you're thinking and feeling. Dak here says Daka is a baller. I agree with it. I mean, he looks very, very good. Daka going to be benched. Well, he is going to start on the bench. He is going to start on the bench at Liverpool Football Club. There is no doubt about that. No doubt about it whatsoever. Of course, he's going to start on the bench. But you've got to look beyond the end of your nose. I think within one season, if his goal-scoring ability translates and he's scoring at the similar rates, conversion rates similar in the Premier League, he's going to oust Firmino. Sorry, Firmino. He's going to oust Firmino. There's no doubt about it. 34 goals and 12 assists this season. Phenomenal from him. Absolutely phenomenal from him. 27 league goals as well. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. There's a comment here that says, this Daka guy is unreal, must be on steroids. Come on. That's a madness of a claim. He's just very, very talented. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. Morning to you, Herb. Hope you are well. I want to see some more comments from Liverpool fans on this Daka deal. That's what we're talking about right now. So if you're not commenting about Daka, we can't do it. We can't speak. We can't put it up on the screen right now. Liverpool actually fixing their squad depth, and that madness. I think that's the truest point here. That is what Liverpool are doing. They're fixing that squad depth, but they're also setting themselves up for the future. They're setting themselves up for the future where they're still an excellent team right now. And as soon as Klopp started playing people back in their natural positions towards the end of the season, you saw that come to fruition. What Liverpool are now doing is saying, actually, let's go out there and let's add some additional players. Let's add some additional quality. Let's add something different. Let's add something different to this team now moving forward. And it's looking like it's going to pay dividends. One of our members here says, seems like the Scousers are doing their business early and the Man United board is sleeping. We're going to get onto Jadon Sancho a little bit later on in the stream, so stay with us here at the Terrace. We're also talking Onana to Arsenal as well. We want your thoughts and we want your feelings on this deal that is circulating. All to come later on the Football Terrace. We'll be giving that to you. Carefree here. I hope you and your family are well. Yeah, all good, barring Freya getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Barring that, all gravy. Other than that, all good, mate. Cannot complain at all. I've never seen Daka play before. What level would you put him on? Do you know what? I've seen him play 2 or 3 times, so I'm not going to sit here and admit to sort of profess to be an expert on him because I'm not. But he's one of those players. Everybody knows I don't watch European football with an eagle eye because I don't believe it's plausible to do that. But he's a player's name that's raised its head above the parapet. So it's someone I've gone and watched. It's somebody that I've gone and studied. He's raw still. So there are still moments where he'll make the wrong decisions. There's still moments where he'll take too many touches. There are still moments where his kind of anticipation and reading of the game isn't where you want it to be. But he's very, very young. And he's got the ability as a 22-year-old to develop and improve tremendously, especially under someone like Jurgen Klopp. One thing that is for sure, athleticism is there. The skill set is there. On top, and when I say the athleticism, I'm talking about his fitness and his physique. So he isn't going to come to the Premier League and be some shrinking violet. He's got strength, he's got athleticism, he's got great stamina. On top of that, his finishing ability is deadly. That is there to be seen. It's raw. And for me, that's the base. You've got someone who's physically strong, capable with skill, and then they have this ungodly like finishing ability. That's a great sort of almost blank canvas for Jurgen Klopp to work with. So I personally think it would be a tremendous signing for Liverpool Football Club. And the price is being quoted. I'm seeing everything vary from 17 to 30 million pounds. Even 30 million, which is the highest I've seen quoted today across media outlets, would be a very good piece of business in my very, very humble opinion on this. Just to let you all know, all squad members and above, if you go to our community page on the Football Terrace, we've posted some sneak peeks. Like we've said, part of the membership package there is you get some behind the scenes footage and pictures, etc. And we've put up a few pictures from the brand new studio that we've acquired in London that we're going to be setting up and getting ready over the course of the next few weeks ahead of the start of next season, where a lot of our shows are going to be broadcast and hosted from. And we're even going to give the opportunity for some of you to come in and watch the shows being made as well. So if you're a squad member or above, go check that out on the community page on the Football Terrace. If you're not a member of the Football Terrace, just click on the link in the description below and get that done. Or what I'll actually do for you, because sometimes people can't find that, or there isn't a join button on your screen, I'll just post that link right now into the live chat, so you can all do that if you want to do that, of course. And we are going to open up the lines later for you to phone in and for you to have your say. Yes, we will be. Terry, thoughts on Gerrard to Everton? Not happening. Jadon Sancho to Manchester United is a saga that never ceases to amaze me. So I'm just about to go to sleep last night. I'm relaxed. I'm chilling. And then we see this headline. And we'll put this headline up for you in a few moments. But it says, Sancho and Man United have an agreement in principle. Okay, we know that. That's been spoken about now for 15, 16 months. That isn't new news. But Man United haven't made a bid yet, was the next part of this story. And again, I thought, well, we know Man United haven't made a bid yet. That's an obvious thing to us. Dortmund demand too much money, and United haven't decided how to approach this situation. That is a sobering element of a sentence here. And we'll put this up on the screen for you. When you read that, Dortmund demand too much, and United haven't decided how to approach this yet, You've got to hope here that Konstantin Ekner, I think that's how it's pronounced, is misinformed. And I'm not denying that this German journalist is right or wrong, but the Dortmund are demanding too much money and United haven't decided how to approach it. This was my personal fear. This was my personal fear about the Glazers. They knew how much it would cost. They briefed the media. They briefed Jadon Sancho. They said, essentially, we're going to bid. We're happy with that amount of money. 75 to 85 million was quoted across the board, but within that spectrum, United said they were happy. Now what's being suggested is that Dortmund are demanding too much. Are we now seeing exactly what we predicted here on the football terrace? United are right upon the edge where they're going to put the bid in that they've almost negotiated and agreed via the intermediaries, just for them to turn around and say, hang on a minute, we might be able to get 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 million pounds more off of this deal. From a financial standpoint, Manchester United certainly got the price down from last season. Most Man United fans are not celebrating that because we needed Jadon Sancho over this past 12 months. Is this now Glazeronomics at play again at Manchester United, where what they're going to try to do is reduce that price further, get that price down more? For me, it stinks. I pray that a bid goes in today. This news ends up being misinformation. I truly, truly hope it does. And maybe I'm personally seeking confirmation bias here. Maybe that's what I'm doing because I don't trust the Glazers. And I hope and I pray to God that I'm wrong. But this is a situation that does not look good for Manchester United Football Club. There is no doubt about that. It's a horrible scenario. It's a horrible scenario to Dortmund demand too much money. That is not what you want to read before you're going to bed or when you're waking up in the morning in relation to Jadon Sancho to Man United, because what that does, it opens the door. It opens up that door for Chelsea or Liverpool or another club to say, hang on a minute, we need a player in your position now. We weren't ready for you 2 months ago, but we've sold X, we've sold Y, we've sold Z. There's a place now on the roster, a place in the squad for you, Jadon. Man United are dragging their feet. We're willing to make the bid. How about it? That should be the sobering thought for Manchester United fans this morning. And there is, I'm not going to lie, there is almost this narcissistic, vindictive part of me that wants it to happen. Because maybe it would be this deal falling through over 5 million, 6 million pounds that would properly unite Man United fans against the Glazers. Yes, we had the protests, and yes, we had the hashtags. That's already dead. It's already gone, just as it was predicted here on the terrace by the majority of our panels. Maybe this is what it would take, because Jadon Sancho, for all intents and purposes, is a Man United player right now. All it takes is a bid. It's done. The most talented young creator England has ever produced. The most talented young creator in the history of European football. Nobody in their first 3 seasons has created as many goals as Jadon Sancho in their first 3 years, from debutant till now, in one of the top 4 leagues in Europe. No one's ever done it. To pass up this opportunity for a few million pounds would be an absolute disgrace. And I pray to God, that this is not true. Let's go to some of your comments that are on this here. Sharim says, is there a possibility that Liverpool or Chelsea are going to go? There could be. Liverpool and Chelsea are interested in Jadon Sancho, but they haven't done the groundwork Man United have done. It is a true saying that transfers only take about 24 hours to go through. That's when official bids are made. But in terms of building up the packages, negotiating, convincing, creating space in your squad, raising funds, working out the deals, almost waiting for the change so that the selling club to find a replacement, these things can take 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. We've seen that happen. But if Chelsea get rid of a couple of players, say Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech leave, that's hypothetical, no one panic. And they go, right, we want to... Sancho's still available, is he? They've got the money for him. Why would you not buy him? The best young creator in English football history. Facts. Absolute facts. Let's keep moving. Let's do some more of these comments here. Terry loves you. I do love Jadon Sancho. I think he's an excellent... What you'll see, guys, is if he joins Liverpool or Chelsea, you won't see my energy for Jadon Sancho change. The same as it never changed for Mane, never changed for Fabinho. I don't change my mind on players because they join rival clubs. I'm not that shameless. Simple as that. Brad said, Terry, Sancho isn't going to United. Just drop this. Listen, we report on the news, my guy. And this is big breaking news this morning from Germany. This is what it's about. Terry, do you think, and where's that gone? Do you think this is from another one of our members? Terry, do you think we are serious on Sancho? Doesn't look like it. 50 million is fine. We paid the same for Maguire, and that improved our squad. 80 million is fine. Listen, I think we're serious about him, but we're always... Do you know what trick you got to remember about the Maguire deal? Remember about the Maguire deal. Why we ended up paying it. We were trying to get that down all summer. Trying to get it down all year. The only reason we got triggered into spending that money instantly was because Man City came in. So maybe what this will take is for Chelsea or Liverpool to find themselves in a position where they're ready to bid for Jadon. And then Man United are triggered into putting the bid in. The problem then is you risk the player saying, you just weren't serious about me or serious enough about me. And he may change his mind. He's agreed to join United. He wants to join United. And the Glazers are taking a huge risk here. Terry, thanks for the videos. I was able to get through isolation and COVID. Keep up the hard grind. Not a problem at all. And we've got so much more on the way for you as well, especially for our wonderful members also out there. There's a lot of exclusive content that will be coming your way, a lot of early releases, a lot of pre-recorded videos that we're going to be getting done soon with certain journalists, ex-players that you'll get first access to before the rest of the terrorists. So thank you very much for joining up. Nate here says, I disagree about Sancho's talent. Very good player, but like most English players over the years, overrated. And you're entitled to that opinion, my guy. I'm just stating facts. No player that's ever played in the top 4 league in Europe from debut to the end of their first 3 seasons has created and assisted as many goals as Jadon Sancho. It's a pure cold hard fact. It's a pure unadulterated, unchallengeable fact. And they're very good assists as well. They're not talking about all these assists are like 2-yard passes. This guy twines and makes people fall over. He's an exceptionally good player. Man like Terry continuing the hard graft. Thank you very much, George. Really appreciate that. So wait, Terry. So Terry and Man United fans want their owners to overspend on a player and not try to reduce the price. How crazy is that thinking from fans? Look, the way I look at it is this. I understand your notion, but you've got to look at track record under the Glazers. We walked away from signing players such as David Silva, Sergio Aguero, Wesley Sneijder, to name a few, because the money was too high. We have got a bad habit of losing out on players because the club wasn't prepared to pay. Eden Hazard, another example. These could have been Manchester United players, Karim Benzema, but we didn't put the money down. And it's fine trying to get the price down, but if we end up losing him to a rival club, then what? I'd rather pay the extra £5 or £6 million now and get the deal done and over that line. In other news today, Arsenal Football Club. Now, this is an interesting one for me. There's been a lot of talk at Arsenal about them going for a new goalkeeper. And this is a report here from the Telegraph that says Arsenal appear intent on exploiting Andre Onana's precarious situation to sign him for a cut price fee. Onana, as we know, is currently banned from the game for taking a banned substance. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name of the drug. It's far too much for my dyslexic brain this early on a Wednesday morning. Says, but the player claims to have taken it in error. Because this hasn't stopped Arsenal from sniffing around, though. The Telegraph believes this, and Arsenal are very much interested in signing him this summer. It says here that the report suggests that the very maximum Onana would cost Arsenal is £7 million, a figure which could be reduced if his ban is cut short and if he can't play until the winter. So you may find that what Arsenal might be trying to do here is go, right, he can't play till November, December time. Let's pick him up for £3.5–4 million. The question I have for Arsenal fans this morning in relation to this deal is, do you think Onana is an improvement on Leno? It was only a few years ago on the terrace. It was only a few years ago on the terrace that people were claiming that Leno was top 3, top 4 in the world. And yes, I am talking about you, Mr. Adam Charles, wherever you are on God's green earth this morning, young man. You definitely claimed that, and you definitely said that. Is Onana an improvement? Arsenal fans, I want to hear from you this morning. David here with a super chat says that Onana could cost as little as 1.7 million. I mean, that would be a tremendous... Do you know what? At 1.7 million, let's be brutally honest. It's well worth the risk, isn't it? It's well worth the risk. You can't even deny that. It is well worth the risk. There is no doubt about that at all from an Arsenal point of view. I mean, 1.7 million. 1.7 million for Onana. That would be a tremendous piece of business. George says Leno is leaving, is he? Okay, well, I must have missed that part of the report or a report that stated that. Well, if Leno is leaving, but who would you put in then? Who would be your goalie until that point? Arsenal fans, who would you trust as your goalie until that point? And even if Leno is leaving, you know, is Onana an improvement? But at 1.7 million, do you care? A comment here from Navid says, is this all credible or is it just rumors? Well, this is from the Telegraph, and the Telegraph are not known for being overtly hyperbolic or clickbaity. In terms of Patson Daka, all the major Liverpool outlets have picked up on this news today, and they're running with it, and they're sharing the story, and they're talking about it, as are we. In relation to Jadon Sancho, Konstantin, I think it's pronounced Ekner. He's a verified journalist, you know, works for the BBC and the Times. That's pretty, for me, again, you don't tend to listen, I forget what goes on behind the scenes at the BBC. From a sports point of view, the BBC and the Times, in relation to their sports headlines, are not renowned for, they're not the Metro. Do you know what I mean? They're not an aggregator. I think they're fairly credible, if I'm being absolutely honest. Daka is overrated, but Chris here says get rid. I think he's talking about man like Leno there. A lot of people asking if I seen the news in the Athletic about Chelsea's transfers. Yeah, Chelsea are going to go big this summer. We obviously did the big show last night. That Chelsea show was on and Anita, and that spoke about what was going on there. But that's your updates from me this morning. Onana to Arsenal, Sancho, and maybe these financial problems stopping things from going ahead. And Daka to Liverpool. Is it a done deal? Is it going to go ahead? We want to hear from you. I'm going to share the link to call in now. I'm going to put that in the live chat functionality feature right now. And in fact, what I'll also do, I'll put it in the description. If you just, I'm going to put it in the description of the video. I'm going to save that into the video and just refresh it, and it'll be there if you haven't seen it on the live chat. Some of you said to me that you can't get live chat up, which I've never really seen before, but there we go. I want your views and I want your opinions on this. KJ is coming later. We're going to do some of your calls first, but KJ is on his way very soon, ladies and gentlemen. Can't wait to hear from you all this morning about what you're thinking, what you're feeling. But make sure that like button is being hit as well. Very, very important to the terrace that you hit that like button. Plastics rattled again, is what Herb says. I don't get what you... Be specific there, bro. I want to know who you're talking about when you say that. I want to know who you're talking about. Chris here, one of our members, says Leno was terrible in the last few months of the season. Yeah, I've always thought Leno was a bang average goalkeeper with a huge mistake in him every game. Like, I think he can always pull off a huge mistake. I just think it's there. Daka rumors. I was hearing about this from Jan. Listen, it's very true, Mildy. The Daka to Liverpool rumors have been circulating for a very, very, very long time. We're going to start going to your calls. So first up on the show, Dequan is going to be with us here this morning. Welcome to the terrace, mate. What do you want to say?
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm a big Arsenal fan. Onana coming to Arsenal. I don't know about that one. Because ain't he on a ban? Because if Arsenal was smart, Donnarumma's available on a free. But we already know what these owners are like.
Mate, this is... I mean, do you think Donnarumma would join Arsenal? Do you think he would... do you think you're a big enough attraction for him?
No. I would prefer like Livakovic from Dinamo Zagreb, if that
Okay.
was the case, because I saw him play against Tottenham in Europa League second leg last 16, and he pulled off some amazing saves. So I would want him, Livakovic, if Leno was leaving.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I mean, Onana, I'm not too sure on his ban. I have to check it out. He's not meant to be back until sort of November, December time. Would you take the risk on him for 1.7 million, knowing that he's going to be available halfway through the season? It would free up potentially a lot more money for other players.
Yeah, I would take him, for 1.5 million. I think the problem is Arsenal need midfielders, and I've been very vocal on that, in the past weeks, with the whole Bissouma links and everything. And we have to take into consideration that Africa Cup of Nations is in January. So we're going to lose a couple of players as well, Xhaka, going to Roma. I'm not sure how far that deal is, completed and things like that.
Yeah.
But Arsenal will lose Partey. If Bissouma comes in, we're not going to have Bissouma for a month. And then if Onana comes in, we're not going to have Onana for a month. And then Arsenal are out here selling midfielders. Guendouzi going to Marseille for a cut price fee. It's just not going well for Arsenal at the moment.
No, I hear you on that, mate. Listen, thank you for your call this morning. Top man. Thank you very, very much indeed. What other options are there outside of Onana? Where else do Arsenal need to strengthen? It's a really good call there, because you could lose your two main centre-backs for a month if Bissouma signs as well. Maybe that's why the Onana deal is being looked at, because it's cheap and it means there'll be more money for other areas. Tom Little is with us this morning. Tom's a Liverpool fan, as we know. Patson Daka to Liverpool. Give me your thoughts.
I like the idea, but he can't be the only one we sign because of AFCON. Because the idea of bringing depth into cover for when they're gone is negated with them, because he's on the same plane with them. Yeah. So as a backup striker, he's completely different to what we've got. He's a finisher. He's got the pace to run behind, which is something we've cried out for in some games. I love Firmino, but I can't be bothered with all this tippy-tappy on the edge of the box and not running in. Daka gives you something else, which I do like. I would like to see us as well go after Rafinha from Leeds. That's who I really want as someone who can challenge for a starting spot, because he can play on both wings as well, which would be, and he's not bothered by AFCON.
I think I do hear everything you've said about Daka. I understand the kind of cover during AFCON. But I look at Daka and I look at Rafinha, and the same way as I view Jota, I think they've all got the ability to push your current front three to their limits. It's highly likely that one of your front three is going this summer, if at the very least next summer. They're not going to stay forever. I think it gives you great depth initially, but also it gives you something to really be excited about for the future, especially with Daka. 34 goals this season, 12 assists. And listen, the last person to come out of Red Bull Salzburg that was scoring those kind of numbers is a certain...
Right, isn't he?
Yeah, is £150 million valued Haaland. The only difference being Haaland was also doing it in the Champions League, which Daka hasn't done yet on a European scale. But I just think about the amount of times you guys play that ball into the box and your attackers miss the chances. Daka, for me...
Don't get me started, Terry. Don't get me started. How many times it's bouncing around and I'm watching Firmino slice it over the bar. If we've got someone who knows where the back of the net is, we're getting another 5 goals a season at least. But what you were saying then about they can push the front three, that's what they need. I reckon they've become a bit complacent. They haven't really had real competition. When Jota first came in, it showed. Firmino got left out the team, had a decent run of form when he came back in.
Well, just so you know, who had a super chat that says Zambia haven't qualified for AFCON. That would be a touch then.
Even better. Bring him in.
There we go. Listen, bro, thank you very much for coming on this morning, Tom. Always appreciate hearing your thoughts. Have a good day at uni, bro. And look after yourself. Top man. Next up, CFC Ed is with us here. Clearly a Chelsea fan. What are you here to say, buddy? You are on mute if you're trying to talk. He's not ready to talk. He might have gone to the bathroom. Who we're going to go to next? We're going to go to Jason. Jason's back with us here this morning. What are you saying, Jace?
Hi, Terry. First of all, congratulations on your office and stuff. moving into London, you're doing bigger things. But yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan as well, and Onana to Arsenal. Yeah, what I think is a weird move because obviously Onana is going to the African Cup of Nations as well, and obviously I kind of understand why. Obviously, Leno's leaving as well, and it's just a weird move for me. But obviously, I can see the profile of the goalkeeper that we're going for. Really good goalkeeper, good shot stopper as well. And yeah, also with Arsenal as well. Like obviously, we need to spend big this summer. Literally.
Well, when you say spend big, let me ask you a question on that. Like how big and what profile of player do you view that as? Because you look at Liverpool, who are in a much better situation than Arsenal in every which way. They're really aiming at 35, 40 million pound players. Do you look at it as, should you be going for the Basumas, the Rafinhas, the Dakas, or are you aiming higher than that? Do you think it's the Grealishes, the Ollie Watkins? Well, maybe Ollie Watkins is that level below, but is it the Grealishes, the Sanchos that you think you should be going for?
Yeah, we should be going for Sancho and Grealish, but we're not acting as a big club, Terry. We're not acting like a big club. And this has been a frustration since we won the title. And ever since we won the title, like Chelsea did, like in 2012, obviously they won the Champions League. They're built from that. They're still winning trophies from that. And obviously with us, we haven't won a title since 2004. And we moved to the Emirates to see what Chelsea's actually looking like right now at the moment, which is 2 Champions Leagues and 2 Europa Leagues. So of course I want to see us spend higher, and of course I want to see Sancho's and Grealish's and everything, because that's what I want my club to be. But in the realistic situation with the owners that we have, I don't think there's going to be any progress whatsoever. So that's a bit frustrating for me at the moment, which is kind of annoying, as an Arsenal fan. And
no, I hear that, and I think it's. I do think you need to shop. I mean, we all want to shop at Harrods. I'd love to do my weekly food shopping at Harrods, but we can't all afford to do it. I'd love to go to Waitrose every week. Can't afford to do it. So you know what I mean. I find myself in Aldi quite regularly because it's good quality, but it's cheaper. And that's Arsenal have got to shop at Aldi at the moment because that's just the way that the land lies. We're all there, bro. Like that's where it's at, right? Waitrose shopping not for now.
I mean, to be fair, like when I look at other clubs, like look how Everton kind of spent. Like, I mean, obviously Everton spent astronomical amount of money. Like, look at the teams around me. Even Leicester spent more than us. Like, literally, even on quality, even on like I don't know, like Villa, they spend money. Like literally around us, like more than us. So why can't we do it? Why can't like we're a big club? So I'm just like, it's just a bit of a disappointment. It's just that we don't have any ambition to like go forward. It's like every transfer window that I see is just basically just like it's like 5 positions that we need to sign for, but we only sign 4 out of the 5. Like literally how many? Yeah, a defensive midfielder that we're looking for all these years. Literally, it's just frustrating, Terry. But it is what it is.
I do hear that, bro. Thank you very much, Jason, for phoning in and having your say today. Top man. Thank you. KJ still to come, ladies and gentlemen. So stay with us here on the Football Terrace. A reminder of the stories today. Patson Daka to Liverpool reported from Spanish outlets that the deal is agreed and close to being the next done deal at Liverpool. Reports from Germany last night breaking into this morning suggest that Man United have stated that Dortmund are asking for too much money for Jadon Sancho, and they're kind of pondering over how to progress with this deal. Onana to Arsenal is another trending story this morning across social media. We want your thoughts and your feelings on that as well. The big questions that we want to pose to you are, will Man United sign Jadon Sancho? Is Daka the right profile of striker to take Liverpool Football Club forward? And Onana for £1.7 million, but not available for a large part of the season due to suspension and AFCON. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? Get your super chats in right now. You can phone in. The link is in the description of this video. We did put it in halfway through, so you might need to refresh it if you've been watching all along. Next caller this morning we're going to go to is Latimus Prime is here. What are you saying, lad?
Morning, people. Arsenal wants Onana. This guy's not that good, really. Like, he's an average goalkeeper. He's not an upgrade on what they already have in Burn Leno. But I can already see what's going to happen next season. 10, 15 games in, Arsenal fans will say he's better than Mendy. He's better than Dean Henderson and David De Gea. Watch Alisson and maybe Ederson make one or two high-profile errors, and they'll say he's already on their level, and they'll call him world-class. This guy's... I don't think he's that good. And because remember last summer, Chelsea linked with so many goalkeepers, and Jam kept saying Nick Pope. I wanted Cash for Schmeichel. We were linked with Onana, and I said no because the errors this guy makes and the mistakes this guy makes, it's just not worth it at all. And I think Arsenal would just be, I know it's not a lot of money anyway, but I think they'll just be spending money on a goalkeeper that they'll have to replace in a few years' time anyways. I think maybe they could try for Donnarumma, or they could try getting someone in the Premier League already, someone like Dubravka at Newcastle or Darlow. I think those two are very good goalkeepers in my opinion, and they're better than Onana.
Ladies and gentlemen, Prime has had his say this morning. Is Onana good enough, or is he good enough? Is he trash? Is he a brick? Where does he stand, ladies and gentlemen? Prime, thank you very much for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate that. We're going to push Prime's comment out to you, the viewers. Where do you rate Onana? Do you think, is that a Chelsea fan being a little bit salty this morning, or do you believe in what Prime has said? Is Prime speaking pure facts there? Next on the show, Pav is with us here. Pav's a Man United fan. The Sancho deal seems to have hit a new snag. Give me your thoughts, mate.
Yeah, we spoke about this the other day where I said to you that I reckon the owners, the board will drag this deal out because you said that they want a big coverage, and it looks that way. That's what's going to happen. We're going to hear stories that, there's a little snag here and there. The bid hasn't officially gone in. Clubs can do deals before the window opens. Like, you can, in principle, agree, and then all you have to wait is for the window to open, and obviously the player could be official. But we know for a fact with the Euros coming up, there's no chance in hell that they're going to do this deal until the Euros are over. You're not going to hear anything about it till either England are knocked out of the competition, or if they go further into the tournament, then we'll have to wait. There'll be background chats within the clubs, but officially I can't see anything coming out from either club, or even like Romano tweeting, because I just think it's going to be quiet. It's just going to be, there's a lot of people on Twitter who are just talking a load of crap, like especially these faceless in the know accounts. Like, I follow a few, but I just sit there laughing when I see a tweet, because someone will report something and then they'll twist it into other words and make up that their sources have said this to them.
Well, the headline this morning that I read, I already knew about this thing about the money from Constantine, because I saw it last night. I was reading about it and, just kind of did my research. The headlines in a lot of the papers this morning were, Man United have agreement in principle with Sancho. You click on it and it's related to that tweet. So they're publicizing the first part and not the second. What you'll see later today or tomorrow is these same publications say Man United hit a problem. For me, it's a case of, when you report on something, report on the whole story. So for me this morning, the bit about the agreement in principle, about the United haven't made a bid yet and all that, we know all of that, so I'm not reporting on that. It's the bit where it says United think that Dortmund are asking for too much money. That's the new bit of information, or at least the bit that should be focused on, but no one is yet. And I totally get where you're coming from. It's like, why misrepresent the main piece of information that's been provided to us by the way, a Times accredited journalist, which is fairly credible. I think that's the important part for me, which annoyed me this morning massively.
The other thing is where, like, these news outlets are reporting that Dortmund are asking for too much money. Last year they were asking for around 120 million or something like that. What they're reporting is something like 90 million plus like 5 or 10 in add-ons. That's still considerably less than what it was last year. But Man United can't sit there and haggle with Dortmund this whole summer, because ideally how we used to run was that Fergie used to like his signings in quick. We have to get these signings in. We have to be ready because I think we could be starting short with our season with Green. I don't know what Greenwood's injury is, but if he's injured, Martial's still injured. Rashford's got to have an operation. We don't know what's happening with him after the Euros. We could be going in to the start of the season with just Cavani, and if Dan James is still here, like we really need to get our business done quick because we can't start off with another crap season like this season just ended, where we got slapped 6-1, beaten by Palace. Even that Brighton game, that was awful. We really need to get our business done quick as soon as the Euros are over.
Yeah. Are you there still?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. It needs to get done, and it needs to get done quick, mate. It really, really does. Listen, Pav, thank you for all your support and calling in, mate. Really appreciate that. Top man. A few people are asking, will Robbie make a song if Onana? There's a good song he could do. You remember, what's that? Onana, what's your name? It could work. I'd love to see Robbie dancing again, to be fair. KJ's coming on with us in a few short moments, ladies and gentlemen, and have his say about these deals. But make sure you've hit that like button for us this morning. Just under 1,500 people watching live across all platforms. Please hit the like button. Subscribe to the Football Terrace, but click on the bell notification button so you're notified when we go live. As what we will dedicate to bring you across the majority of the summer is we will try our best to aggregate as much transfer news as possible. Whatever the tweet, whatever the story, we will bring it to you to give you, the fans, an opportunity to have your say, to phone up, to super chat, to member chat, and let us know what you think and feel about this. You can think the stories are trash. Of course you can. They're not our stories. You can think the stories are brilliant. You can tell us that. They're not our stories. We are going to aggregate the news for you, but give you, the fans, a voice. Not many places give fans a voice like we do. So make sure you're subscribing. KJ's on with us now. Morning, sir. How are you?
This Sancho deal is going to be a freaking death of me. I'm sick of it. Absolutely sick of it. I want him to move to any club now. I don't freaking care where. I want it done. I'm tired. Bro.
Are you surprised, though, to hear the Glazers are saying that Dortmund still want too much money?
No. And people was getting gassed over Murtala and Fletcher and that. All the reshuffling. It's still the same thing. We knew this was going to happen. Everyone like, things going to change. I told these men from the beginning, it's nothing, bro. No change. It's going to be all the freaking same. And I'm tired of it, bro. Absolutely tired of it. These guys need to get out of my freaking football club. You've been waiting a whole year to get the price down. You got it down and you're trying to get down again. Disgrace. Absolute disgrace. These pricks need to leave. Terry, you know me, bro. I don't wish any harm in anyone's life because that's what I'm on about. I ain't about that. But you know what, yeah? These man, I wish all the inconvenience on their lives, bro. All of it. Let them be late to their meetings and lose out on money, bro. Let them get their tires pop on the road, on the motorway or something. You know what? Just step on the plug right side up or something. You know what I mean? It's little inconvenience in their life, losing their wallet and that. I hope that happens to you, Glazer pricks, bro.
I hear you on that, and we've been talking about this for weeks on the terrace. That it's really happened, which we know is highly likely, or the media are just keeping the story going to keep the attention going. We knew this story would come, that United would try and, maybe it's because, we know what the Glazers are like. Maybe it's we understand the transfer market or a bit of both. But we knew this story would come. We knew the story would come out that would say Man United are like holding back, or Man United are worried now that they think they can get the price down further. It was just always going to happen. It was always going to be the case, which is the frustrating part, because it was predicted. We all felt this was coming.
After this guy for 2 years. You know how long we've been after this kid, bro? When he left Man City, we were trying to get him. We wanted him since then. Couldn't get him, went to Dortmund. Like a year and a half into Dortmund, we wanted him. And then wanted him again. We've been wanting this guy for so long. Last summer, 120 million euros, too much. Fine.
Yeah.
They lowered it to the price that we would have paid anyway. And now they're saying, oh no, let's lower it again. We are a joke. They are a joke. I despise the people that run our football club.
Mate, I tell you,
frauds, man. Great business. They're hailed as great businessmen. I have said this many times. I don't care. They are crap. They are crap businessmen. I don't care what anyone says. When it comes to football, the football business, they are freaking awful.
Well, that's because they're running us as a business and not as a football club. So it is awful. They're not running a club how it should be run. Look at Roman Abramovich. Chelsea makes some amazing deals, sponsorship deals. They've bought some people at great prices, but none of them celebrate that because that isn't the point of a football club at the level they're at. Like, now, if you're a lower level club and you get a huge sponsor, yes, you celebrate because it keeps you in business, it keeps you afloat. Chick Tricks here, one of our members, says Dortmund have literally lowered their price drastically, and United are still being stingy. United are not serious, and I think that's a fair summary of that kind of situation. Is it even more painstaking for you when you look at the fact that Liverpool are closing in on Daka? They've got Konate. They're making really good inroads into the Rafinha deal as well. Arsenal are looking at Onana, like a really good, really talented young, not young, but talented goalkeeper. Like, is it more frustrating when we're seeing rivals do bits and we're stuck in the mud for a deal that's...
The Onana deal doesn't really frustrate me to that. It's not really a position that I worry about. It's the Liverpool one that gets to me. They need attacking depth in their squad. They're about to go sign Daka, who has had an amazing season for himself in the Austrian league, and potentially getting Rafinha. Yeah, and getting it done quickly. Quickly. This is the thing. FSG, again, they are pagans. I'm not going to sit here and say that they're not, because I know Liverpool fans got their beef with them, so I back them with that, innit? But at least they're going out and getting what they need. It may not be the fancy Sanchos on the bench for 80 M's, but they're still getting good squad player here, good squad player there, players that can challenge and grow into the squad, grow into the team, players that Klopp can mold into something. Get them quickly like that. What are we doing? Oh, Jadon Sancho. Oh, we wanted it down to 80 million last year, but now can we get some more off, please? No, bruv, stop dragging your freaking heels, man. Put down the money, put down the peas. If it's a little bit over, I don't care. Do you know why? Because when we're doing that little haggle business, guess who will just come knocking on the door when they're ready? Roman Abramovich. Marino and the man them will come through and be like, yo, here's the money. Jadon, come play for us. And he will go.
Exactly.
He wants to, Terry, he wants to join us because he wants to come back to Manchester. What's this whole business of trying to get it down? The man's like, yo, I've been waiting for a year. You disappointed me last year. Don't disappoint me again.
Yeah. But you know what the business is, why they're doing it? Because they want to spend the least amount of money possible to keep the income coming in so they make their money. And this is why fans frustrate me when it comes to them still pumping money in any way, shape, or form into the club. And on a personal level, it frustrates me, but I respect their right to do whatever they want. But it's this case of, as long as you keep that money coming in, Glazeronomics will always be at play. They care about that. They just know what they can do. If we miss out on Sancho, it would be disappointing. But think about it from this point of view. If we miss out on Sancho for, say, 80 million, and then we go and sign a 35 million pound player, if we miss out on Champions League football, financially, that still balances itself out, mate. The 50 million you save on not signing Sancho is almost offset by the fact that you miss out on Champions League, but you still make Europa League. Does that make sense? If you sign Sancho, then it's like you need Champions League football now because we need to recoup that money and some on top. It's all about balancing the books with them. Now, I understand all clubs have to balance the books. You can't run at a loss, otherwise there'd be no club. But there is this element where they still want to take their tens of millions of pounds of dividends. They've got if they were doing it to pay the debt down, if they said, look, we're not going to use our own cash to pay the debt down, but what we will do every year is commit to paying 30, 40 million pounds off. But it means in the short term, maybe we spend less on players. There's a part of me that would accept that, because at the end of it, we reap the rewards later on down the line. But it's all about them making money. That's why it's being done. It's not even about them not being serious as such. It's about them not being a seriously run football club, because the money is more important to these guys. And I'm just trying to...
If they said 30 million a year would take the debt off, I would still be like, yo, piss off, you pricks, because they've had enough. They've had enough time to pay it off, Terry.
Look. I
know you're saying
I want them gone, and I hear you. Of course they have. They should be paying it off with their own cash, but that's never, ever, 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 ever going to be happening here. There's no doubt about it. A lot of Chelsea fans in the comment section saying that Jadon Sancho is going to end up at Chelsea, and like we said all along, it isn't on the cards to happen. It isn't even close to happening. But if it did happen, if it did happen, it would be honestly, it would be the most embarrassing transfer saga of Man United's history because of how long and how clear a run we've had. And the fact that this isn't like, have you ever heard a story about Paul Gascoigne to Man United?
Yeah, that everything was agreed and signed and shake hands with Fergie, but then he decided to go to Tottenham. Yeah.
So for the viewers that don't know, he agreed with Fergie to join, salary, length of contract, etc. Shook Fergie's hand. Fergie went on holiday. This had transfer used to be done. Fergie went on holiday. In the meantime, Spurs came in, offered a bit more money, a BMW, and they offered his sister a sunbed. And he agreed to join Tottenham, right? The sunbed was a clincher. But because the news didn't report on transfers like now, Fergie didn't know about it till he signed the deal with Spurs, right? In this era, it's out there. Everything's public. There's no reason for us to miss out on this deal. A super chat here says, like Jem said yesterday, what if Dortmund are looking for a replacement now? The media are jumping on the story saying it's the Glazers' fault. Maybe. But this is the point here.
For a replacement now, like they haven't had like they haven't had a whole year to look for a replacement.
No, and I hear that point, and I also look at it from the point of view of this: once bitten, twice shy. The Glazers and the running of the club have got to consistently do great things for us to start putting faith in them. Because if we'd been run properly, I might believe that and go, listen, it's all fine. We know how we work. We're brilliant. Don't listen to these stories. The problem is everything being said about Glazeronomics is real. When Sir Alex Ferguson states in a press conference that we didn't sign Sergio Aguero because we didn't think it £40 million or whatever it was quoted at the time represents good value for money. There's no value in the market. That is Glazeronomics. That's a manager trying to stop the fan base from panicking, because we would have panicked if Fergie would have said those things. This has been going on for 15, 16 years now at the club. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. Let's get some more of your comments coming in here. Jem defending the Glazers. Well, I expect all rivals to a degree to defend the Glazers. That should, you know what I mean? They should all be looking at it that way, because who would want it to change? Who would want it to change? Sancho is good, but he won't get much game time at Chelsea. And that will be sad for a player of his capability.
And that's why United is the most perfect place for him, because he knows he's going to get guaranteed game time. Chelsea right now, they will have to sell players to make that spot for him. But with the way United's going, they're going to give Chelsea that time. They're going to give Chelsea that. And that's the frustrating thing. We're giving time to our rivals to get a target that we've been wanting for ages. We already potentially might lose Rafael Varane to a Chelsea or a PSG. That's a major target. We might lose all our other targets to someone else. This is the one target that I can sit there and say, we did the groundwork. We wanted him for long enough. Everything's agreed in terms of the player and the club. And all you have to do is just talk to the other club and give them what they want. It's not even like, listen, last year I can semi-get it frustrating. I can get it, 120 million euros, COVID, blah, 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 whatever. Now's the time to strike, man. Now's the time to strike. And listen, we got this fan forum on Friday. What is it? What is it to say? What is it to say?
Yeah, mate. I'm intrigued to know what they're going to say, but I know it's also going to be PR, watered down, rehearsed nonsense. The questions are all going to be sent in 24 hours before, so they get an opportunity to have their script writers put it together. I just don't look forward to things. You know what I always say about like Ollie? If you don't like Ollie, don't listen to his press conferences, because you know what's going to be said. I'm not going to, even if they're going to tell us about, they care about the football, they want to make us this again and that again. I don't care what they say. I care about what they do. And until I see the owners of this football club do better, behave better, spend better, structure better, and put winning trophies as the pinnacle, as the outright goal, I don't care what you say. It's, you know what I mean? It's just cannon fodder. It's absolute cannon fodder. It's nonsense. It's going to make my ears bleed. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Simple as that.
The Onana deal, though, moving on from this frustrating deal, which will end me. It's not actually. Could it be smart move from Arsenal potentially? Ban or no ban? You know what I mean? Low fee for a goalkeeper that's highly touted as being talented. I haven't seen much of him. he may be banned, but if you get rid of Leno, bring in someone like a Matt Ryan, is a capable backup who can stand in goal until he comes back from his ban. That's getting 2 goalkeepers for a very low fee. 2 capable goalkeepers, and you probably get what? How much for Leno? That could work. That could work. That could be a smart move from Arsenal.
I totally agree. I think it could be, and I think this. You know, we said earlier about Arsenal lowering expectations. There are deals for good players out there that are not necessarily superstars, but it's the right players. Build that squad, build that base, and add superstar quality to it later. And the goalkeeping area is certainly one of them. It really is. Viewers, we've posted a link if you want to go check out the new studio's raw. There's nothing done to it yet. It just looks like an empty room, but we want to give you the behind the scenes looks. We've pinned the link to the community post in the live chat. So click on that and go and take a look at the new studio space and go and get that done. We're back later on today with more content for you. I have a meeting I've got to go to now to do with the terrace. Very excited about this that I've got to go to literally in a minute's time. So I will bid you all farewell. We're back later today with more stories for you. We're going to open up the lines more. What Safe is sitting there laying on his bed. What are you doing, Safe? I can see you backstage. Same t-shirt again. Nice. Until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves. Subscribe to the terrace and make sure you turn on that bell notification button. Very, very important indeed. Until then, take care. Goodbye. God bless you.